Hey everybody, it's Flyin Ryan here with the review of the Bayang Toys X16 Typhoon. Now this is a brushless quadcopter. It does have brushless motors. However, it just has a little 2 megapixel 720p HD camera here. And the camera is just awful. I'm just going to put it right out there. It is an awful camera. It has a ton of jello wobble. It seems even low quality compared to other 2 megapixel cameras. It's just a really bad camera. So this is another one of these models where I don't really understand the point, because they've put brushless motors on it, which is awesome. It's another one of these low cost brushless models, but then nerfed it with this silly camera, and it doesn't have a gimbal or anything. Like some recent models have started adding one-axis gimbals where it at least keeps itself level while the quad flies it back and forth like that. But this doesn't do that. But you can just manually angle it. It does have a mount similar to. Let me see if I can get that out of there. No, I can't. Oh wait, I think I need to slide it forward. The mount here is similar to the Cyma X8G, so you can fit that camera mount in here. However, this doesn't power that camera, so you can't actually use that camera on here. But if you've modified that mount to hold a GoPro or some other camera, you can actually fit that mount on here. So you've got some options for other cameras, but not really a lot. There's no gimbal setup or anything. You could clearly, manually some way mount a GoPro or a Mobius or something on it. So I think they kind of assume that you're just going to immediately get rid of this camera and figure out your own way of mounting some other camera on it, because that's really kind of the only purpose. It's not really a sport flying brushless quad. It's not too sporty in its flight characteristics. It only has 2 rates and it's not super fast. So just again, kind of a weird model. This up here is not actually GPS. It kind of looks like they do with these GPS antennas, but it's just plastic. It's just dummy. It doesn't have GPS or anything. It doesn't even have altitude hold. We'll go ahead and look at the transmitter. So since this is a brushless motor, you have to arm and disarm the motors. So first things first, you move both sticks to the outside corners, and then the motors are going to spin up and start slowly moving. And then if you hold them to the outside corners again, that'll disarm the motors and stop them. We can recalibrate it by holding both sticks down to the left, which I think is going to be for headless mode, and both sticks down to the right, which is going to be the accelerometer. Let's see, buttons. Our left button here is our different rate, so we've got 2 rates. The yaw rate does change with the 2 rates, and it's decent. It's pretty good speed, especially for aerial video. It's not super sporty speed or anything. The right bumper here does nothing, and on the box, I don't know if you'll really be able to see that through my camera or not, but it says 360 flips here. It does not have flips. This right bumper, I think, probably did flips in other models, but it does nothing with this one, so there is no flips like the box says, and the right bumper button is useless. Let's see, we've got buttons down the side here. I'm looking at my notes. I don't think any of those do anything. I think those are all just dummy buttons. Yeah, I don't see anything in my notes. So the little D-pad over here, the up and down arrows are our camera operation. So up is to take a picture, down is to start and stop video. The center round button there is our return to home, which just uses headless mode to fly backwards, so not really a true return to home. And then this right one here, I believe, is headless on and off. If you click the left one, it changes between 1 and 2 beeps, but I don't think it's actually doing anything. I don't know if maybe you turn headless on with this and turn it off with that, or if you just turn it on and off both with the right bumper or with the right button, but not exactly sure there. But again, I don't really use that headless mode, so I didn't quite figure out what was going on there. Looking at my notes, I think that does cover it for the transmitter. The battery is, let me get that to focus in, that is a 3S LiPo 2200 milliamp hours. So nice big powerful battery. This has this same kind of plug like the X8G from Sima, so kind of a weird one. The charger here is a wall-powered charger that charges through the balance port. That takes about 3 hours to charge, and you get about 11-minute long flight times with about a 30-second LVC warning, so pretty decently long flight times. We do get a full set of spare props, and then we've also got some tools here. We got a screwdriver, an Allen wrench, a little wrench here for the for your prop hubs, and then a USB card reader. And it does come with the micro SD card here, which is in the back of the camera, and that is a 4 GB micro SD. Doesn't want to focus in for me, but take my word for it, that's 4 GB. Go ahead and put that back. It does have LEDs here in the motor, or in the arms here. Front is red, back is green, so a little bit backwards from how I prefer it, but whatever. Let's see, what else is there to say? So yeah, it does have, you've got your battery compartment here that you can plug in the battery, but then it does have an on-off switch. However, I found that if you plug in the battery and have it turned off, it still beeps every once in a while. So I think it's just to let you know that you do have your battery plugged in. But that's kind of annoying, but I guess it serves as a good reminder. I just thought that was kind of strange. I've never seen any other model do that before. Checking my notes here, see if there's anything else to say. Oh, it does require FAA registration. This is 711 grams, so well over the weight limit, so you do need to be registered for this one. And that does cover it, so let's go take it out for a flight. Alright, this is the flight review of the Bayang Toys X16 Typhoon. This is a brushless motor quad with a little 2 megapixel camera. Camera's not very impressive, just kind of your standard affair. Kind of weird on a brushless quad. I wish they would have done a little bit more with the camera. But, I would imagine most people are going to replace that camera immediately with a Mobius or something like that. This could carry a GoPro if you created your own mount. Alright, let's see. I'm going to start in low rates. You've got to arm this one by holding both sticks out. And that's how you also disarm it. And go ahead and give her a spin. So I'm in low rates right now. So not a lot of pitch there. Left bumper changes rates. There's our high rates. Yaw rate does change. Decent yaw, especially for a camera bird. This thing isn't very sporty. This is definitely an aerial video platform, not a sport flyer. You can't get too crazy with this one. Now the box says 360 flips on it, but I have not been able to get this to flip. I'm pressing the right bumper, holding the right bumper. It is not flipping. So I think let's go ahead and hit the down face button on the right. Starts the camera, so it should be filming. Let me bring it over me, see if I can. And the wind's kicked up now. I can't see the LED on the camera, but I'm pretty sure it's filming. So yeah, like I said, the camera is not too impressive. And there's no, altitude hold or GPS on this, so you gotta keep it completely manual while you're flying. So, not the best camera platform, but for entry-level brushless, it's not bad. So yeah, I wanna try some filming, get that out of the way, and then I'm gonna take the camera off, which I have not done yet, and then see if it lets me flip when the camera is not attached, or if the box is just completely wrong. Mine did not come with a manual, so I've got no information. I've just been figuring it all out on my own. And this does have headless and return to home as well. You know, return to home is, man, wow, the truck. Return to home is just, you know, uses headless mode to fly backwards. So, not really useful. It is nice and smooth flight. It's, you know, plenty powerful. It doesn't feel too heavy or underpowered at all. Just not very sporty. And I actually haven't looked at the footage yet, but I imagine there's quite a bit of jello wobble with just the hard mount. There's no anti-vibration mount or anything. Alright, let's stop the video. So it looks like this center button on the right D-pad there is the return to home, you know, just headless fly backwards button. Let's bring it down for a landing. Both sticks out to disarm it. See, it's got these 4 buttons down the left, which I'm not sure what those do. I imagine this is probably turns headless mode on and off or something. The one. It's probably headless where it beeps the whole time. Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't figured out headless mode because I don't really ever use or care for it. So, but it does have it somewhere, and maybe newer versions of this have manuals that come with them. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and remove the camera here. Let's go ahead and shut it down, restart it and everything. So take the camera off, go ahead and turn it back on, bind it, put the camera off to the side there. So now I'm going to see if it lets me flip when the camera is not attached. Let's put it back on high rates, arm it. Okay. Let's get some height. No. Nope. I don't know what the right bumper does. It beeps, but when I press it and move the right stick, nothing happens. When I press and hold it and move the right stick, nothing happens. I have no idea what the right bumper does, and as far as I can tell, this thing does not have flips as the box states it does. Man, look at the wind pushing it back. That's just when I let my hands off. I'd experiment with some of these other buttons, but the wind pushing it around like that, I'm afraid to take my hands off the sticks for too long, and if I end up in headless mode and who knows where it's going, things could get crazy real quick. So I just don't think it's worth it. Headless mode is not something you should be using anyway, so I'm not too concerned to figure it out. The camera is so light, it really makes no difference in flight characteristics. It still feels like it's flying exactly the same as it did with the camera on. A little disappointing that it doesn't flip like the box says. I think that would have been kind of cool for a brushless quad to have automated flips. It sure does fly smooth though. I like how it flies. Bayang Toys has had some pretty good previous models. The X7, I think it was, is one of my favorite indoor flyers. So they've got a nice flight protocol. This is no exception. It flies really nice. Just not very sporty, but if you want just smooth circuits, you know, power and authority, it feels really good. Alright, well, I think I showed all there is to show, so let's bring her in for a landing. Oof, a little bouncy. It came in really nice and smooth and then got bouncy as soon as I touched down. Alright, well there we go. That's the Bayang Toys X16 Typhoon brushless quad. Probably going to want to replace the camera on this one if you get it, because that's kind of, I don't know, the point is an aerial video platform, but the camera is really a letdown, so I think you're probably going to immediately want to put your own camera on it if you're getting this, because I don't think you should get it if you're looking to sport fly it, but you know, if you want nice casual circuit flying with plenty of power, it's good for that as well. So anyway, check the video description for a price and purchase link. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.